I remember the day they told me I was wasting my life. It's etched into my mind like a scar, sharp, raw, and unchangeable. I was just a kid then, sitting at the dinner table clutching my fork while my family's laughter echoed around me. "You're dreaming about becoming a forensic accountant?" My father scoffed, eyes narrowing. "That's not a real job. That's just number tinkering, and you're wasting your time. You're an embarrassment to this." They ridiculed me relentlessly. Every attempt I made to explain my passion for uncovering financial secrets, for exposing lies buried in ledgers and balance sheets, was met with condescension. "You're chasing illusions," my mother said, shaking her head. "He'll never make it. Why not aim for something sensible, like a real career?" For years I buried that voice, that doubt, deep inside. I studied, I worked tirelessly, and I fought to prove them wrong. But their words haunted me, their mockery, their dismissiveness, fueling my obsession to succeed, not just for myself, but to silence their voices forever. When I was ousted from a prestigious data analytics firm for uncovering truths they wanted buried, truths that threatened powerful people, I felt the weight of their contempt shift into something else. Betrayal cut deeper than anything I'd known. But it also ignited a fire. I plunged into the uncharted realm of forensic accounting, a field mocked as number tinkering, as if that trivialized my work. The skeptics laughed, the critics sneered, but I knew better. I knew that behind every number was a story, a secret, a lie waiting to be exposed. And so I dedicated myself to the pursuit. Night after night, I pored over financial records, hidden transactions, shell companies, offshore accounts. I followed the trail of corruption across continents, exposing global financial crimes that kept the world turning on a fragile edge. It was lonely work, relentless and unforgiving, but I pressed on. Every secret I uncovered was a victory, every revelation a blow to the corrupt. Years passed. My reputation grew. I became known as the data whisperer, the forensic accountant who could uncover what others couldn't see. And ending, I transformed humiliation into vindication with every secret I revealed. Money laundering schemes, political briberies, environmental scams that drained communities dry. I turned my pain into purpose, my mockery into mastery. And then, one day, I decided it was time. I returned home, not as the broken outsider they had dismissed, but as someone they could no longer ignore. The house looked exactly the same, but I was different. I was different because I had built something monumental. I had taken barren lands, once neglected, impoverished, and thoughtless, and transformed them into thriving ecosystems. I used my expertise to trace the roots of environmental crimes, uncovering illegal logging, pollution schemes, and land grabs that had devastated entire communities. I exposed the truth, and in doing so, I helped reclaim what was lost. Now I stood in front of my family, who had watched my rise from afar, and I finally revealed the full scope of my work. I showed them the videos of lush forests reborn from the ashes of destruction. I presented the data charts and evidence of ecosystems restored, communities empowered, lives changed. Their faces were a mixture of disbelief and shame. My father's jaw tightened as he looked at the pictures. My mother's eyes welled with tears, not of joy, but of recognition. They saw what I had become, what I had fought so hard to achieve, and the weight of their past ridicule pressed down on them like a storm. Then I took a step closer, voice steady but burning with emotion. You told me I was wasting my time, that I was an embarrassment. But look at what I've built, not just in numbers, but in lives. I turned what you mocked into something real, something meaningful. I proved that pursuing what you call ridiculous isn't foolish. It's necessary, because sometimes the greatest failures are just the seeds of your most profound triumphs. Silence fell. My words hung in the air, thick with truth and catharsis. My family looked at the evidence, at the landscape I had helped revive. It was a silent apology, a recognition of their blindness, and a grudging acknowledgement of my resilience. In that moment, I understood something universal. The mockery, the betrayal, the rejection, they were the crucible that forged my strength. Every sneer from my family, every doubting word was a lesson in perseverance. I learned that the deepest wounds could become the most powerful catalysts for change, that what others dismiss as ridiculous can, with relentless dedication, become the very foundation of success. As I turned to leave, I felt a profound sense of peace. I had become everything they said I never would, an agent of change, a guardian of truth, a testament to resilience. I realized that the real victory wasn't just in the success itself, but in transforming pain into purpose, humiliation into... And I knew, deep down, that I had finally earned my place, not just in their eyes, but in the world. Because sometimes the greatest triumphs come from the ashes of rejection, and no mockery can ever drown out the truth of what you're truly capable of. I walked away that day knowing I had rewritten my story. And in doing so, I had shown everyone, including myself, that the most ridiculous dreams are often the ones worth fighting for.